In our technological journey of artificial intelligence, we saw that machine and deep learning solutions can scale from large data centers to tiny IoT devices. We commented the crucial role of hardware accelerators in the processing of AI solutions, and we introduced the machine and deep learning solutions provided in an as-a-service manner. The growing interest in these fields is also certified by the skills requested by the top employers' wish list. Recently, IEEE Spectrum, the magazine of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, published a very interesting ranking and comparison of the tech skills requested by the top US employers in 2014 and 2019. What is really interesting is that tech skills characterized by the largest increase are those associated with machine and deep learning solutions and technologies. For example, Python, which is the programming language of most of the machine and deep learning frameworks nowadays available, is at the third place of this ranking. The first two positions are occupied by SQL and Java respectively. Python programming is nowadays requested in roughly 20% of the tech positions, with a 123% increase over 2014. In addition to Python, from 2014 to 2019, the request for tech skills like AWS, machine learning, Azure and Docker increased from 400% to 4,000%. Let me point out that AWS, machine learning, Azure and Docker are all technical points we addressed in the videos about machine and deep learning as a service. These amazing numbers let us understand that machine and deep learning solutions and technologies are nowadays valuable opportunities to be seized. But which are the challenges to face in order to move things to the ground? Without trying to be exhaustive, I would like to mention 3 points. First, the convergence between as-a-service and embedded AI. Second, the ability to learn in real-world environments that are possibly time-varying. And third, the role of user privacy in the machine and deep learning processing. We saw that the as-a-service approach for machine and deep learning is supported by cloud computing platforms, while the embedded AI is meant for tiny IoT objects. These two approaches that nowadays seem at the extreme of technology will naturally converge into a scenario where the machine and deep learning processing will be seamlessly executed onto an ecosystem of heterogeneous hardware platforms, where real-time information is processed locally and where more strategic KPIs are sent to the upper levels for further processing and learning. In this scenario, the upcoming 5G will play a crucial role by means of offloading and orchestration mechanisms. But this is something we are already seeing in heterogeneous hardware devices, comprising, for example, a microcontroller and a GPU. In the global picture, the challenge is to scale the design of this heterogeneous hardware to the whole ecosystem of pervasive devices. We are pretty sure that the integration between the as-a-service approach and embedded AI will happen in the upcoming years, and we expect, on one hand, that the efficient and effective computing paradigms of the cloud will be propagated to the edge to increase performance, scalability and reliability. And on the other hand, that the IoT units will represent the first line of processing of cloud systems. Moving machine and deep learning to the real world must encompass the fact that the real world changes or evolves over time. This is due, for example, to seasonality or periodicity effect, changes in the user's behaviors, evolutions of the stock markets, faults or malfunctionings in sensors or actuators. The effect of these variations, also called concept drift, is that previously learned models become obsolete, hence no more effective in processing the new data. From the technical point of view, most machine and deep learning algorithms assume that data are IID, hence independent and identically distributed. This assumption rarely holds in real-world scenarios, with potentially catastrophic effects on the envisaged applications. We had a relevant example with the occurrence of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. What we knew about our world, encoded in our machine and deep learning models, suddenly became obsolete, and we had to learn new models to predict, for example, economic trends on the behavior of the users. Learning in presence of concept drift is hence a promising research area aiming at removing the stationary hypotheses from machine and deep learning algorithms, so as to make them able to acquire new knowledge over time and discard the obsolete one in order to guarantee the largest accuracy even in time-varying scenarios. Last but not least, privacy. We already commented that the technological evolution of cloud-based computing infrastructures intercepted the ever-growing demand of machine and deep learning solutions through the machine and deep learning as a service approach. Unfortunately, to be effective, this approach requires the processing on the cloud of possibly sensitive user data, like, for example, personal pictures or videos, medical diagnosis, as well as data that might reveal ethnic origin, political opinions, but also genetic, biometric, and health data. The challenge we have to face here is to preserve the privacy of users in the machine and deep learning as a service computing scenario, or more generally, in the scenario where acquired information is processed by remote technological actors. This is a novel and promising research and technological area of machine and deep learning based, for example, on homomorphic encryption and differential privacy. There is still a lot of work to do in this area, and for sure we will see great advantages in this direction in the next few years. We commented 3 out of the many challenges we have to face in the technological journey of AI. In the next 2 videos of this MOOC, we will see the perspectives of 2 companies working in this field, STMicroelectronics and Alchemy Lab. They will help us in understanding the next big steps in the field of embedded AI and cloud-based machine and deep learning for social media. Stay tuned.